listen to someone ramble about their life while they're walking down the road huffing and puffing. It's not entertaining to me, but I don't know, do you guys like this? So it's Martin Luther King Day, and I'm still not breaking the chain on the fact that I have to walk every day. My chain actually says move for real. And that's because in the past where I put move on there, and you know, I would count things that really shouldn't be counted as getting exercise. I'm trying to think of a good example of what I used to count that I shouldn't. Man, it is slippery out here. So even on a day like today, when it's snowing, it's not super cold, it's like 20. Editor Trent will put what temperature that is. So this is kind of around the block, sort of. And we've measured it on Google Maps, and it's 1.1 miles around the block. That is move for real. Whoa, that one almost got me. Almost went down that time. Okay, we're sliding. So that's ice there underneath the snow. Ice. It's pretty out here. And the cool thing is, deer. We have deer all over our neighborhood. They're pervasive. They're kind of a menace because they don't have any fear of people or cars, and so they walk out in front of cars all the time. Kind of surprise you from behind or something when you're walking or talking or out in the yard or whatever. But we're not going to see any today because I think it seems like when it's snowing they seem to not get out and about. They like to hunker down. Tammy sometimes does this walk with me, but when it's slippery or really cold, it's really better that she doesn't, because all of these slips that I'm catching myself, I don't know that she would catch herself. There's this little curve here where there's fewer trees and you can see a lot more of the houses. I like the fact that we're kind of down, hidden in the woods from other people, as opposed to, you know, like that. When you drive in the mountains much, when you get back into some of these back roads, a lot of times you'll see just a wall of trees and a driveway with a sign that'll say, you know, private drive or something, and nothing else. And that's what I always dreamed about having. And I've almost got that. I'm satisfied with what I have, but it's something I've dreamed about since I was a kid. I'm on the uphill part, so I'm gonna have to stop talking and start breathing.
Tomorrow.
It's Tuesday after MLK Day. I'm going on my walk. Sun's out today, but it's still cold. Ooh, I don't know those tracks. Guess that could be a rabbit running. So the hardest part of my walk around the block is right at the beginning. Going up our back drive is probably the steepest part, and because it's shaded, there's 3 or 4 snowstorms worth of, you know, just a couple of inches of snow here and there, but it's got ice crust in between the layers, and it's kind of like walking through really, really soft sand or something, and it gets me out of breath real good. But that's the idea, right? Lots of dog tracks, a few people tracks. That guy pulled into my neighbor house up here, and I haven't met this neighbor.
A few moments later.
So I met Eric, his wife Amber. I did not meet, but now I remember their names because I have it on video. Okay. I'm really surprised the more people I meet here, how many in our neighborhood have moved in the last 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, I thought we would be the new kids on the block with a bunch of old, you know, old mountain people who've lived here since they made the roads and that kind of stuff, but everybody's new. Everybody I've met so far, except for Jim, who lives on the corner, who has lived here for 20 years. How many people are new? Oh, hey, remember what I said yesterday about the deer? So hopefully they'll move along once they realize I'm coming towards them, because I can't come towards them if they don't. So that's Mom and last year's 2 babies, I'd guess. I thought I could do this without gloves because the sun was out, but I was wrong. My fingers are burning. When I have my gloves on, I have to use my nose to push the button. Oh, now my hands really hurt. It's a beautiful day today. No clouds. Sun's going down. Red glow on the mountains. And every once in a while along the walk, when it's cold, you can smell a wood fire in somebody's chimney. It's a nice smell. So it's good to meet the neighbors. I've met a few of them. You know, we're not like house party people. We kind of like being alone in our house, being antisocial, and you know, we've been quarantining before quarantining was cool. You know, maybe it's because, like I said, enough of us up here are brand new that have just lived here in the last 3 or 4 years that we all kind of have the same idea that we moved here to get away from the city, to get away from nosy neighbors. Every once in a while I smell something that I don't think is coming from someone's chimney.
Okay, whoever has the marijuana, just pass it up to the front row, okay?
Like I said, moved out here to get away from nosy neighbors, so, and it's legal, so what are you gonna do?
Tomorrow.
It's Wednesday. It is so hard to walk through that snow. I had church tonight, so I'm walking a little bit earlier today. It's warm today for January. Can't believe it. It's about 45 degrees. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's nice for walking. But this is not normal weather. Apparently this is a La Nina year, which means all the snow goes up to Canada and the Pacific Northwest, and we don't get anything. I mean, I understand my Texas folks are like, what do you mean there's snow everywhere? Well, yeah, there is. Like that back road, in the deepest parts, 5-6 inches of snow on it. Normally would have a couple of feet of snow on it, maybe more. For this time of year, to only have just this little lingering stuff that lasts in the shadows, this is bad. I mean, it doesn't rain here much. We don't get a lot of rain, and so the snow that we get over the winter is our water supply. The worst part really is what the effect that it has on the forest. I mean, there's all kinds of talk about bad forest management that's been going for 100 years where we haven't allowed natural fires, and so now we have these devastating fires. It's way too dense. The trees are right on top of each other, and they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be spaced apart. And there's all kinds of trash at the ground level. Lots and lots of pine needles and undergrowth and things that have just built up for decades. You can see this is the edge of Neil's property. And these trees, these big trees, are just all together, intertwined, and so if one of these trees starts to burn, they all burn. That's not how God made it, you know? That's not how God designed these trees to live. They're supposed to have space in between them. So, if you do the mitigation like what we've been trying to do on our property, you cut down dead trees and you either burn them or you haul them off to the dump, and then you rake up all the pine needles and the pine cones and the aspen leaves that in some places are several inches deep. Then, if there were a fire, there would be less fuel and the trees would be spaced apart, so if one tree went, they wouldn't all go. And then you get back to what really the way God designed the forest to be in the first place, and the way this forest probably was 300, 400 years ago. But, I mean, you look out across this valley And this is one of 1,000 valleys just like it. The task of making this forest healthy is, you can't even wrap your head around it. You know, what are you gonna do? I know what I'm doing with my little 3 acres, and that's getting it healthy again. It won't make a whole lot of difference if there's a big fire, but it might save my house. I need a haircut so bad. One thing with this video that I got to thinking about is that me showing you all these houses in my neighborhood, and there's enough there for anybody on the internet to figure out where I live. And is that a concern? For my channel, with all 300 subscribers and 20 people who actually watch it, no. But there are some big YouTubers that I watch that just, not because I'm a stalker or malicious or anything, but out of curiosity, I'm able to look at their videos and use Google Maps and Street View and things like that to figure out where they live. You know, I did it with a guy in the middle of England. He did a bike ride video around his neighborhood, and I was like, oh, how about I can figure out where that is? And it took me 10 minutes. But another YouTuber that's one of my favorites, when he moved into a new house, he did a house tour and figured that one out in even less time, because the real estate listings were still up. Vlogger in Australia that I watch moved into a new apartment, and just out of curiosity looked up the area, found the neighborhood, and pretty quickly, without even trying, found the apartment. And like I said, it's not like I'm gonna go all creepy stalker and park across the street with binoculars or anything. But it's just, it makes me think, if someone didn't like something that I posted on Facebook or whatever, they could find me. If you're on whatever, Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or whatever, you know, think about what you put out there, because we live in the information age. It's great to be able to find information when I need it, but it means all my information is out there too. So I moved over to let a car go by, and after the car went by, I heard a noise behind me. And it was a deer sneaking up behind me that would have just walked right out in front of those cars. Stupid deer. It's cool that they're here, but man, the first time I hit one with my truck, I'm gonna hate them from then on.
Tomorrow.
It's Thursday. It's cold out today. Not cold. You know, it's freezing, 32. That's not really that cold. For January, that's, you know, pretty much normal. It is so hard to walk through this snow, even when it's packed. I put my gloves on, so I have to use my nose again. I suppose the reason that I'm recording this, beyond the fact that it makes me work my lungs harder, is to make them into a video and publish them. I'm not sure I would be interested in watching this if it were me. Walking vlogs, I've seen a lot of them, and I get bored real fast because I'm just not that interested.
The pot's calling the kettle black.
Listen to someone ramble about their life while they're walking down the road huffing and puffing. It's not entertaining to me. But I don't know, do you guys like this? What do you guys think? Comment below and let me know. And either way, honestly, be honest. If you say this was boring and I skipped it, then I won't make any more, because I don't want to make stuff that nobody wants to watch. It's Thursday. Tomorrow's work from home Friday, so maybe I can edit this tonight, get it uploaded early, which means this is signing off. So again, let me know. I mean, if you made it this far into the video, you must like this. Like I say, if if I'm redoing this 50 more weeks, I could get a lot more content, a lot more rambling. But anyway, give me a thumbs up, be sure to subscribe, leave me a comment with what you're doing for your New Year's resolution, and we'll see you next time.